to use pain as fuel towards your dreams. Pain is never a pleasant experience, but in whatever form, it can be used to positively drive you towards achieving your dreams. I have learned this both from personal experiences and from interaction with similar cases. Otherwise, pain has the potential to crush a super-hyped desire and derail propensities to achieve greatness. About using pain as a fuel toward realizing dreams, I discovered never to view pain as a misfortune. Instead, it has always been important for me to understand and accept that my experience facing and overcoming pain is actually one of the greatest assets and advantages to fueling my dream. As a student working through college and later on as an entrepreneur, life had put many thorns and thistles in my path far worse than my mind was willing to accept. I was faced with unreasonable people, vexing associates, experienced illnesses, losses, and setbacks that literally knocked me off my feet. Pain, both physical and emotional, has never been enjoyable, and because it's not possible to go through life unhurt, I decided to embrace pain and use it as a driving force. I am far from being a masochist, but I have considerable experience with both physical and emotional pain, and have learned to harness it as a drive. At an early age in life, I experienced lots of both. I accepted pain, and sometimes I have actually liked it because it has the ability to push you. But has this been a demerit? Certainly not. Once I learned that pain can be used as fuel toward my dreams, I saw just how bearable and motivating it was. Now, there are two major categories of pain, and they are caused by different factors. These are emotional pain and physical pain. If you have ever experienced a feeling of shame, or that feeling when you lost someone or something precious, or when your pride was crushed, that feeling when you felt defeated, then you know exactly what emotional pain is all about. As a young person, I found myself in many humiliating situations and social occasions or merely with friends. Some experiences were very shameful. They usually compounded into self-inflicted anger and sadness. I felt miserable, and all I wanted was to get out of that feeling at any cost. I sometimes wanted to physically fight to gain back my pride and honor. By far, one of the most remarkable experiences from my childhood was the death of my older brother. This generated an incredible amount of emotional pain, and at the time I didn't know how to deal with it. At that age, death just didn't make any sense. I couldn't realize that death is not the opposite of life, but it is just part of it. Because I was young and immature, I didn't know how to use this kind of pain as a fuel toward my dream. I just felt it and thought it was what it was. Life would go on, and I would keep on feeling as long as it lasted. It wasn't until I grew up that I began to learn that I could actually do something about the pain. Through experience and self-discipline, I discovered that I could actually use those feelings to my advantage and turn my situation around. Instead of dwelling on self-pity, I learned to use pain as fuel to equip and discipline myself to become stronger. I also observed that it is the fresh pain that was hard to harness, and yet provided the best motivation. I therefore trained myself to make the most progress in a short period of time, when I felt that pain and anger the most. When I suffered the most, when I felt the most angry, the most distressed, that's when my warrior instincts kicked in, and I could perform exceptionally well at almost anything, only when I deliberately took advantage of the situation. An example of emotional pain I have experienced is the famous heartbreak. In that condition, I managed to focus all my energy on a single purpose, and the results were phenomenal. The second type of pain that is no stranger to anyone is physical. As a child, I always dreaded physical pain. Often I would cower in fear and cry out loud at the mere threat of pain being inflicted. Hence, I never grew fond of physical confrontation and pain affliction. Maybe I was pampered too much, and this robbed me of the opportunity to grow up like a typical young star. While my mates were out playing aggressively, occupying themselves with outdoor leisure, and getting physically rough with each other, I often stayed away. However, despite the circumstances, as my character changed and my defensive nature started developing, my tolerance for physical pain grew as well. At this point, I figured how to use physical pain as a fuel toward my dreams. I discovered that if properly harnessed, the shocking sense of physical pain has the potential to wake one up mentally. This does not mean that I have to deliberately get hurt, for example, by striking myself or something irrational as that. However, working through physical exercise has done the trick for me. Whoever thought the gym could be this handy? True to the saying, pain is weakness leaving the body. As I go through physical pain, I am always looking for that silver lining that brings a sense of awakening and the drive to achieve my goals. Jogging, or any other type of cardio exercise, is also a good fuel toward achieving your dream. Personally, when hurt or injured by any type of physical action, I am not only driven to achieve, but am also made to feel stronger, using the mind to endure this pain, and I am inspired to push myself further. It may not always be wise to push beyond the limits and hurt more, but as long as you understand your limits, it can help you make excellent headway. If you shy away from pain, you may be shying away from an opportunity to use pain as a motivation to reach your dream. Whether it is physical pain or emotional pain, such as trauma from injury or suffering from breakup, it can all be used to turn your condition around for the better. Unlike so many other people who allow their pain to control the quality of decisions and choices they make, I have developed the resilience and maturity that I need to pick myself up, dust myself off, and keep moving through the pain. Keep moving forward. Through pain, I have developed the muscle I needed. When faced with the question, how possible is it to use pain or disadvantage as fuel toward one's dream, my response is, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching for those things which are before, pressing on toward the mark for the high prize and the high calling, pressing on to reach the goal. Until next time, your friend Felipe.